you are done with school and you are currently on OPT. I want to understand your journey. Was it difficult for you to get a job, and what did you learn in the process?
My journey has been a mix of everything.
Hmm.
I never imagined it because for me, before I graduated, my graduate
Yeah.
coordinator and I had agreed that I was going to teach.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, last year, summer, she passed away.
She passed away.
Yes, my graduate coordinator passed away.
The one who has been helping you throughout.
She passed away.
Huh.
So, me who was thinking that life was going to be easier because she was there, now I had to come to terms with reality and find out that no, whatever agreement I had with her was between us. She was going to make it work. So now that she's not here, I had to start working things out
Wow.
myself. Now it was hard because now I was going to stay because of her. If she's not there, then why would I want to stay?
Wow.
I started my OPT application, went through it. It was approved in less than 2 months. I received my card. And at the time, I was already applying to schools for PhD.
Hmm.
And my friends had also said usually there are jobs within September, October, November, December, because those are the times that companies are trying to hire for the
Hmm.
next year. So the pressure on me was on a different level. Applying to schools for PhD, finishing up my thesis, and now job searching.
Yeah.
By the end of the last semester, my school reached out to me. In fact, my new graduate coordinator told me she wants me to still stay and teach.
Hmm.
But it was a part-time job. An adjunct faculty is always a part-time job.
Yeah.
And that wasn't going to be enough. It was just going to be okay. So I was like, okay. I put in the application and they approved it. I started background checks and everything. So I had a job on the side, I had a part-time job.
Hmm.
But I wasn't looking to stay and teach. I never imagined myself staying to teach, especially after the
Hmm.
demise of my graduate coordinator. But so my new coordinator was helping me. She was like, use this link, apply to schools in higher ED, try to find another adjunct position in addition to this. You just
Yeah.
teach online, you don't have to go in person.
Hmm.
And that was why I realized that this might not apply to everybody because I am coming from New Mexico, and New Mexico, usually most companies do not hire from there. So now this was the bigger challenge I had to face. My geographical location in America, it was serving as a hindrance or as a challenge to me
Hmm.
because I was applying to jobs and they would tell you you are applying from a restricted, they have a name for those things. So
Wow.
before you put in the job application, you see it with your eyes that we are not hiring from New Mexico.
Hmm.
And then you still go ahead and apply because you're faith in it. I
Yeah.
you know. So when I had an understanding of this, I was not even forcing myself to apply to places that were not hiring from my end
Hmm.
because this is America. We are talking
Yeah.
about systems.
Yeah.
They won't make an exception.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they might, but they don't.
Yeah.
They
They
don't.
really do. Yeah.
So I understood it. It's like, okay, now this is not going to work. Then let me go and pay for flex jobs. Indeed, all these jobs, all these ones I paid, I subscribed
Hmm.
because I want a job. If I'm
Yeah.
going to stay here and teach in person, then I need a remote job, something I can
Hmm.
do from anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was applying, I was applying, I was applying, and I was realizing that, okay, I do not know how to specify because I'm a jack of all trades. Wherever you put me, I get a
Hmm.
job done.
Hmm.
But now I have to specialize. I have to search for public relations job. I have to search for broadcast production jobs. I have to search for
Hmm.
broadcast journalism jobs. I have to search for media jobs. I have to search for administrative assistant jobs, executive assistant. I had to be very specific in my search.
Yeah.
So that is one thing we have to bear in mind.
Hmm.
Specify. In when you're doing your search, if you want to put jobs for chemistry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Knowing the specific jobs that are aligned to your course of study will help you get through that.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to specify. So generally my search was like communication related jobs. And, I had to learn it the hard way because I don't want to specify.
Mm.
I want a space that while I'm writing, I'm interacting with people, I'm receiving people, I'm directing. I
Yeah.
wanted to do all these things, but that's not how it works.
Mm.
Those America, they like to specify. They don't like to overload. Well, there are some fields that might, but they don't do that.
Yeah.
So that was one of my challenges, not specifying in my search. But eventually, I got a hang of it, and then I started searching for very specific things. I went to my department, took a picture of the jobs that are related to my program. Then I
Mm.
came to sit down and I started doing individual search on that. But in all the applications, they'll ask you, would you need visa
Yeah.
sponsorship in the future? I
Yeah.
personally did not need one because I wanted to go into a PhD. I just
Mm.
needed something to do for the
Yeah.
time being. So usually I'll choose no. But even with that, they still don't get back to you because
Yeah.
they realize you're now done with school, OPT, they don't get back to you. So that was the main challenge. So one, bear in mind where you stay or the state you are in can be a blessing. That's why I said do your research. You want to find out about the state you are going into. What are the job prospects in that place? America is big. You can go anywhere. But sometimes when it comes to these things, if you have to relocate before they even pay attention to your application. So I have friends that because they had families in other places in their applications, they were using the address of their relatives to do that. And that's what helped them land the jobs they had. So this is also the tip. If you want a job in a certain place, you may want to find a friend there and use their specific address to apply. Because even the remote jobs, they want you to be in the state or in the city,
Yeah.
or sometimes a certain distance from an office near you or something. If you're able to pay attention to all these, it can work for you. But in as much as I was willing to relocate, I had accepted to teach, and the classes were in person. I couldn't move. There was something holding me back.
Yeah.
And another challenge I had was that I didn't have a car. So even if I had wanted to work later in the night elsewhere, how was I going to go?
Yeah.
And New Mexico doesn't have public transportation system. Not the whole New Mexico, but where I was, it
Yeah.
didn't have one. So I was also again limited. And these were the challenges I faced. And the referral part. You see the parts where you get in your application, they ask you, who is referring you?
Yeah.
Who introduced this opportunity to you? If I were you, I won't overlook that part because that part contributes a lot. You won't believe that I did so many applications, didn't get any interview, didn't get feedback from any of them. I was even looking for internships. I was like, okay, if I don't get a job, let me just get an internship in addition to my teaching. I'm
Yeah.
content with it. They even internships are asking you who referred you. So one day I'm just there. Somebody sends me a friend request on Facebook. I have the time. I'll go and look at your profile, find out who is seeking me, and then before I come and accept.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, this person is here, this person is there, this person does this. Okay, this is somebody I would want to have on my FOP. So I accepted this person's friend request. And at that instant, the person texted me, hey, I realized you teach here. I was also a teacher, but I recently stopped teaching and then I moved to this place. Can we chat? And I'm like, yes. I like people who have my kind of experiences. So let's talk. So this person shares his experience as an adjunct professor and how the money was not enough and he has moved to a full-time job doing this. And I'm like, yes, I'm also looking for a job. And this was after 5 months. I'm also looking for a job. He's like, oh, my company is hiring. Let me share my website link with you, this and that. And he sends his email. He says, use me as a referral. I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I
Yeah.
go on there, spot a number of jobs that I qualify for, but most of them were administrative wise. I apply, I get to who referred you. The way I'm confident, put in the person's email. For the first time, I get an interview.
Wow.
I get a feedback. I was like, okay. Because then I did my research and I found out that when it comes to job applications, the top priority is internal hiring. The second is referrals. So referral worked for me. There were jobs that I saw that I really wanted that I was overqualified for, but I tailored my resume to suit it. And I went on LinkedIn trying to reach out to people who work in that organization to at least refer me because I had heard of referral. And they wouldn't even reply your LinkedIn message. The thing is, they're not even active themselves.
Yeah.
So the challenge is on a different level. And another thing is that they tell international students to network. Anybody you talk about this thing to, they tell you to network. And when I see posts like that, I just sit back and I say, it's not because we are not networking. We are networking. As somebody will say, you're not networking with the right people. No, that's not how, you can't say that this to an international student. Our
Yeah.
journey is challenging.
Mm.
These people that it's their own land, how many of them stay behind after events to even speak to their own
Yeah.
guests? And they don't do that. But we
Yeah.
do that. We exchange contact. See, I reached out to all the people, the executive directors and their deputies that I know from different organizations, and they said they were not hiring. So are you going to tell me that I did not network?
Yeah.
I did. Because me here in New Mexico, I was moving from one state to the other, volunteering, doing this, doing that. I had a network.
Mm.
In school, during media conferences, I was meeting industry personnel because I was moderating sessions, leading
Mm.
discussions. I have emails, I have cards, contact cards. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's not about the networking. It's about the person who really wants to help you.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
It's about the person who really understands your challenge and wants to help you. Because somebody had to come and send me a friend request, tell me, use me as a referral. And then I got an interview. And what happened to be my first interview is the job I'm doing now. So it's a complicated system. Everything is just complex. You cannot understand it. You don't have to force to understand it.
Yeah.
You can only do as much as you can. You can only do, even some of my friends use external parties. They pay to them and then they apply to jobs for them.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. Maybe at the time, if I knew, I would have explored that because three of my friends used it and it worked for them. Just that they ended up starting work like 2 months or 3 months after graduation. By then, I had already started teaching. I started teaching in January when the spring semester started. So I had already started working and I was still searching for a job and I was not getting. And later on, I had a referral and I was done teaching. School is on vacation. Then I moved here. My story is different.
Yeah.
Yours will be different
Yeah.
because my friends were not doing any part-time job, so they just relocated to wherever the companies were. And the thing is, they didn't even move very far away from New Mexico, where we were. We were barely 2 hours away from Texas, so they moved to Texas. It was just within their
Yeah. Very close.
reach. So this is it. This is me sharing what I have experienced and learned with you. Network. Do your best. Network. Maybe somebody you network with will have an opportunity at the time you may need them. By me, they told me they were not hiring. And tailoring CV for every job, people make it sound like it's easy. It's not.
Nah. It's so much work.
It's not. Because for me, who has uh like different experiences, because I've worked in different fields. So I say I'm a well-rounded scholar. I've worked in archives, administration. I just have those experiences. So at every point in time, every job is asking me for a different skill set and experience altogether. And I have it. So I'm not coming to put it together to tailor it to suit them. Yes, I
Yeah.
have this thing. It's a lot of job. It's draining. So it's not
Yeah.
easy, but you have to put in the work and speak to people. Let people guide you. My friends used to say I'm lazy. They used to say I'm not serious. Why am I teaching? Why have I accepted a part-time job when I could have been doing a full-time job? But every day when I pray, the Lord would tell me, we will all not have the same stories. And maybe I do not know where this teaching will lead me to, but
Yeah.
I had to teach. I just knew in the moment I had to teach. Did I enjoy my life teaching? Yes. If I had this opportunity before the teaching, would I have left? The possibility is high. I would have left to come here. But to me, this is my story.
Yeah.
Yours may be different. Just that sometimes I feel I've not taken advantage of this period to really make money like people are making, which is okay. I'm not really so heavy on money. I'm now learning to start doing money thing. I'm
Yeah.
more of a value driven person. I go to places where I can make impact, places where I can make change. The
Yeah.
money, good. In America, I need the money, pay rent and stuff. Me, once my rent is paid and I have food, I'm okay. Somebody will say, "Oh, you don't want to send money to the house." My family is okay. God is taking care of them. What I have, I give them. But for now, you want to focus. You need the job.
Yeah.
So that which you can get access to, focus on it. Don't do too much of money. If you want to do too much of money, you miss out on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the OPT has
That's true.
restrictions,
Yeah.
90 days. And they are so strict on it.
Yeah. You have to get a job. Yeah.
And even if it's an internship, you need something to start with.
Yeah.
So me, the teaching helped me. For a moment, I stopped job searching because it was beginning to take a toll on me.
So are you still teaching, or you've
Oh
quitted
no,
it?
my contract was just for the spring semester.
Okay.
So once the semester is over, I just had to move. And by then I had had a new job, a full-time job. So I just relocated to where the job is.
So right now, are you still like, are you okay with it, with your mental health? Because now at least you have somebody that you know or something, or is
My mental health is a lot better. And I think also where you stay plays a role in your on in this whole mental health issue. I have specific when it comes to my type of room. The room I was in had, I'll say I didn't like the window size. So it was more like it was preventing me from experiencing life.
yeah.
But my new room here, I like it. I like very spacious places because I like to use my mind a lot. That place I used to feel a lot confined, but over here there's a lot of space. So, and over here it's a city. I see a lot of people. I don't interact with them, but I see them. So I have a sense of life around me.
Okay.
And for me, that works for me. So it's about my space and the world outside altogether. And these two are helping with my mental health. Like I'm doing better. All these years in America, I now feel like, okay, I'm doing
You
better.
feel like human. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yes.
That's good
Yeah.
to know. Yeah, the friend who sent you the request on Facebook, is he a Ghanaian, an
Yes, he's
African?
a Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
Just that he's been out of the country for like 10 years. So, yeah.
I see. Yeah. Uh, just to give context to those who are watching this, do you have an idea how many jobs you applied to or you
Oh,
applied for?
honestly, me, when I used to, like when I was beginning to understand some of these things, I was not bothering myself with applying to 100 jobs, 300 jobs. No, I did not apply to more than 100 jobs. I don't think I even made it to 50. I thrive on understanding. If I understand how something works, I don't do too much.
That makes
I was very
sense.
strategic in my applications.
So, what is your
And
current
that's why
job?
they said I was lazy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in somebody's shoes, you can easily talk because life is more complicated than that. You cannot really
But
be on the
shy, they
outside
are
and then
using third parties, okay? And they've
yeah,
done over 500 applications. It's 1 month after graduation. This is not to offend anyone, but
yeah,
I deliberately checked up on them. I was like, hey, it's 1 month after graduation. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
yeah,
Because when I was crumpling, you saw me crumple. When I was going through it, you saw me. I understand the position you are in. That's why I've come to ask you. But then I was also trying to point out something to them.
yeah,
Our stories are different. The fact that you even have a third party doesn't mean you secure a job. The process is complex. Once you're an international and it's OPT,
yeah,
even they are even in the sciences, you still go through it.
yeah,
It is
eh,
very few people who do not go through the stress.
yeah. Especially now with the new governments and all of that, things are not that
Yeah.
easy. Yeah. So, what is your current job and what exactly do you do?
Okay. I'm an administrative support assistant.